Hey guys, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has the tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. And trust me guys, it works. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. And the best of all, it is totally free. Yes, totally free. So download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Alrighty, good morning everybody. Currently Friday, about 9 a.m. Central Time, so about 8 a.m. Mountain Time. To the 1 to 3 listeners, thank you for tuning in. If you hear any background noise, that is the washer, because I'm currently washing some clothes right now. But as usual, take a nice sip of coffee. Oh, that's delicious. But how's everybody today? Everybody this fine morning. Like again, it's Friday, and you know what Friday is to a lot of people that work usually Monday through Friday. It's that day of a day before the weekend, day before your 2-day weekend. And to the people that are working today, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for celebrating. But anywho, again, there's gonna be a solo episode. My girlfriend is gonna be leaving for a couple days to go home, see some family, and I will be working because when she'll be gone is when I'll be working, and they wouldn't be able to get it off for me, so I gotta fortunately be here. Sadly, I would love to be going back home, visit some family, whatnot, but fortunately I can't. But anywho, I'm gonna miss her for that time being. She's not taking it very lightly. She's been crying a lot, which I wouldn't blame her. But I mean, hey, sometimes she's got to go see her family by herself and just hang out with them. You know what I mean? She's got to do that. I mean, I think my parents should be coming home. Should be actually coming to Lincoln to drop me off the Nissan Altima that I unfortunately crashed. I'm going to keep saying it's partially not my fault, which I guess you can say it is. Because this is how it went. I was driving like a normal human being. And I was on my phone. I'll say that. I was on my phone. But I was also paying attention. Because when the crash happened, I wasn't on my phone. But when I was changing the song, I put the phone down, was looking up, just driving. And I miscalculated the car that was in front of me. Because there was 2 cars in front of me, actually. The car in front of the car that I crashed, that I hit, that I, backboned, whatever you want to call that. He was making a left turn. The car in front of the car that I crashed was making a left turn. And because there was space for him to make a left turn, I miscalculated, was still going. I wasn't speeding. I was still going the speed, but I wasn't paying attention. Why do I keep saying that? I was paying attention. Just, again, I just wasn't paying attention to the calculations. I guess you can say that. And so what ended up happening was I tried stopping, but by the time that I finally realized this car isn't making the left turn when he could have made the left turn, I'm like, oh, yeah, this isn't good. So I tried stopping, hard braking, but I couldn't. I hard brake in time, so I tried. Luckily, I tried swerving to the right, but I didn't swerve to the right far enough to where, obviously, hit the car. Granted, it wasn't mine. Mine got totaled. The insurance company put it as totaled, but I'm glad that his vehicle really didn't get that much damage. His vehicle was still able to drive. Nothing really happened, which is good to him, not to me, but to him. And the sad part of that was it was an electric vehicle. Granted, it wasn't a Tesla, because the Teslas are over $50,000, and yeah, that my insurance company would have not been happy on that. But he wasn't mad because I did tell him my reasoning, and he did say that the car in front of him was taking a bit too long to make that turn, so he could understand, but just next time, slow down, pay attention. And I told him, I learned it for the hard way, that to not miscalculate, to calculate better. And so helped me push the car up, and then we just chatted for a bit and waited for the tow truck. The problem with the tow truck, first things first, once he helped me, whatnot, we got our details in, he left, whatever. Again, the problem was with the tow truck, because I was with Progressive with an Altima. I don't know now. I think my dad said he's going to try to get State Farm for the Altima. But let me just tell you the problem that I was having with the fucking tow truck that was provided through Progressive. And not only did it take over an hour to get it figured out, not for the tow truck to arrive, to get it figured out what the fuck was going on. Not what the fuck was going on, like, with the whole, like, God, why am I keep confusing myself? With Progressive. With the whole tow truck thing. Because at first I was like, okay, because I've never gotten into a wreck. So I was like, well, I don't know what to really do. So let me go on the app. The app with, I guess you can say, a little bit useless. Didn't really help me much. So I had to go on the website. And the website linked me to a link where I could get the tow truck. And so I went on it, put in the information. They were able to find me. Whatever, fine, dandy. And so they told me, where to go pick it up. But the problem was, I don't know if I just wasn't doing it right, but they wanted me to call not Geico, Progressive. And so I said, maybe just to confirm exact location, that you want to make sure it's me, not someone else trying to steal my information, whatever. So I said, okay, understandable. I call them. In order to get with someone, it took 30 minutes for them not to help me. So I hung up, tried doing it again. It wanted me to call again. So I called again. And again, took 30 minutes to get a phone call. And then they gave me a different number to call. I called that phone number. They took 10 minutes to pick up. For them to just say, oh, we don't do that. Like, I'm like, what? This Progressive, like, the agent gave me this number to call you to help me on this stuff. Like, oh yeah, we don't do that. I mean, do you have like your claim number? And I gave him a claim number, and he was like, oh, that, yeah, we don't do that. I'm like, the fuck you mean you don't do that? I'm like, what the fuck you mean? And he just tried explaining, but I just hung up because I'm like, this is kind of stupid. I mean, I need this car towed. So then, as that was happening, I just hung up on the guy. Felt a little bit rude, but I decided to hang up on the guy. And so I'm just wondering, how the hell am I going to get this towed? Like, I don't want to call a regular tow truck, spend over $100 just to get it towed. And so I'm like, well, how the hell do I do this? And so then I went back on the app, and I was able to find where I was supposed to go, put in my location, and whatnot. And then I just get a call from an agent to confirm, hey, was this you that placed it? We want to confirm everything. We want to confirm the location on where you want the tow truck to go send it. Before we send it off to the tow truck guy, we want to make sure everything is correct. And so I explained everything was correct, and she's like, okay, then I'll send this information to the tow truck guy, and then he'll come. I'm like, all right, perfect. A couple minutes later, I get a call from the tow truck guy telling me he's coming, asked me where I was at, and asked me that the place I wanted to send it to, they're full, so I'm gonna need to send it somewhere else. And I said, okay, well, this is my first time getting in a crash ever and having my car towed for the first time, so I honestly do not know who to go to. So he recommended me a guy that was pretty close and whatnot. But the problem was when he got here, he helped me, gave him the keys, gave him the information, whatever. And me thinking, because supposedly Progressive said they'd pay for it. They'd pay for the towing for like up to, I forgot how much miles it is. I remember if it was like a 10, 15 mile radius that they'll pay, and then the rest of it is dependent on you. Like depending on whatever rate the tow truck guy has it. And also, if you send it to like Progressive approved, like car, like auto body shops, you won't. If you won't. What do you call it? You won't get charged extra. Like it's all part of the insurance plan. And I said, well, that's perfect. So one of them was Eustace Body Shop, and I said, all right, called them up and asked them, hey, well, not say asked them, told them, hey, this happened, whatever. And then they're like, oh, okay, that's it's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad you're okay. Just like the regular sorrows. So then I'm like, okay, cool. I guess it's going well. Ask them. I have the tow truck guy I gave the location of the tow truck guy to send the car over there. Do you guys have any spots available? And they said, unfortunately, they do not. They're full. And I'm like, oh, well then what should I do? The tow truck guy's already coming down. And they're like, well, you're gonna have to tell the tow truck guy to try to move locations. And I said, oh, okay, I hope he's okay with that. And they said they should be able to. I mean, as long as it's not a far distance, he should probably be fine with it. And I said, all right, that's perfect. And so then that happened. He comes, explain everything. We just laugh. And so I told him, hey, I did call the body shop that I was going to have you send it over, but they're full. And he looked at me, not confused, but I guess you could say like a little bit, kind of in a way, a little bit worried, I guess you can say. Like, oh, well, then, like, where do you want me to send it? I'm like, honestly, I don't know the body shops here, and so I just, I just did a quick Google search, found one, and he said, I'll send it over to that guy. But the problem was, because I was having it redirected to a different location, I had to pay the full price. Progressive wasn't going to pay that. Maybe I could have gotten reimbursed if I just called Progressive at the time and just told them, hey, this is happening. But for me being on the phone for 30 minutes, I said, that's fucky. I don't want to go through the whole 30 minutes for that shit. And so, got it paid, and then that's when I towed it over there, and then was going to send, I believe, an email, or they were going to call my dad of Just like, oh, these are the damages, whatever, whatnot. Good. Luckily, I had full coverage, so I didn't have to worry about anything out of our pocket. And it turns out they put it as totaled. And in my head, I'm like, damn. Is that how cheap that car was? That it got totaled? Because his car never got... It barely had baby damage. How in the fuck is my car totaled? And the damages to my car was about like 2,200. And the damage to his car, granted, it was an electric vehicle. I think it was like the Chevy... I don't know if it's Bolt with a B as in boy or Volt as in a V as in violin. Whatever the case may be, that happened. I got a little bit pissed that my car got totaled, but I mean, as long as he got paid his damages to get that fixed and I got paid my damages to get that fixed, all was well. But I don't know if I want to be going back on Progressive, because State Farm, I heard State Farm is a really, really, really great company to be with. Heard Geico isn't too bad, but I'm not too sure of it yet. I think Allstate is kind of good too, but most people use State Farm that I have known. But if any of you guys know anyone like other than Progressive and maybe State Farm, because I'm not saying State Farm's bad, but if I can find a premium that is cheaper elsewhere but still gives me the same coverage and the same great satisfaction as what State Farm is, that'd be perfect. Like Nationwide, Liberty Mutual, just someplace. So that was mine. That's been the only time. So right now I'm using a backup, a 2001 Ford Mustang. And in a way, I kind of like the car. But in some ways, I don't. One of the ways it being that the windows don't roll down. Only one window rolls down. The very back passenger side window. Not even my side window. The passenger side window. And the passenger side window is very fucking small because it's a convertible Mustang. Very small. So if you have that opened, you're not getting any air. Like barely anything. And so in this summer heat, we have been getting 90 to 100 degree days. And so being in that car, none of the windows rolling down. Only that little tiny puny one that barely does anything. And to make matters worse, my AC doesn't work. It blows very hot air. And I'm like, well, shit. So I'll be in that car for 5 fucking minutes. And let me tell you, in those 5 fucking minutes of being in that car, it's hot as hell. But I mean, it is hot as hell. I am sweating balls. And I mean, literally, I got SWAS, the sweaty ass. Like, it sucks. And to make matters even worse, I tried to just have the fan on, get the fan from get the air from the outside. That doesn't do anything. It still makes it hot. I can barely use my phone in that car because the fucking phone overheats because how hot it is in there. And I'm like, well, shit. What do I do? And so I've been doing it for like a good, almost 4 months now. But hopefully now that I'll get the car back, it'll finally be time. It'll finally be time to get that goddamn Altima back, because that AC worked beautifully. But I mean, it worked beautifully, and I loved how well that AC worked. So I just hope to God they come any faster. I hope. Today is the 29th, I mean, and hopefully around this time. Hopefully either today or the weekend I get it. I hope. That's all I can say. I hope. Oh, I'm almost done with my classes. It was so close to being done now. I'm so proud of myself for sticking to something. Because I'm surprised I'm still sticking to this podcast. We're about, like, what, 5-6 episodes in? This will probably be the 6th or 7th episode, I believe, which is good. I don't get a lot of listens, but that's good. I'm sticking to it because I love to talk. I don't shut the fuck up when I talk. And with the whole classes, I'm really wanting to be a realtor. Really be wanting to be a real estate agent to get in the world of real estate, so I know how real estate works. And then also adding YouTube and the podcast into it. Hopefully, it'll be nice. You know? Hopefully, it'll be very nice. And so right now, I'm just for the whole license. I don't just get the license after I'm done with my classes. I gotta take a state test. And so I'm still waiting for the criminal background check to come back, and then send me an email of basically saying, "Hey, congratulations! You can schedule your time." And I'll have to study. That's what everyone says. Study. And hopefully I pass. If anyone from Nebraska Realty is listening, which I know they're not, because they have better things to do than to listen to this. But I will be going with Nebraska Realty. They've been really, really kind to me. Really love them. They have invited me to their sales meeting. I talked to one of their designated brokers named Thane Jensen. Hi, Thane, if you're listening. And, he just invited me to a sales meeting. The sales meeting, I mean. And ever since, I asked him, thank you for inviting me to the sales meeting. We chatted after a bit, and he told me, you can come. The sales meetings are every Thursdays at 9. You can come if you want. You can come to every Thursday. And so that's what I've been doing. Ever since the first day that he invited me over to a sales meeting, I've been showing up because it just shows. Not only do I want to have my name out there, because there's still people that'll ask me, "Oh, hey, who are you? I've never seen you before." Get my name out there with them, try to build a network there. But I love the building, and they are creating a new office that is much closer to my apartment complex. So with private offices and like your own, I guess you can call it like public office, to where you can. It's kind of like think of it like a library, like a college library, and like college places where you have all these tables, you have all these places that you can go sit, do homework, do all this other fun stuff, and whatnot. And so that's how it's going to be with that too. You'll have your own places to where you can like go be doing your own stuff, but then if you pay a monthly premium, they still don't know the prices. You can have your own private office, and which would be nice, because having my own private office, that'd be nice. I want to be known as the guy that's got the good snacks, but hopefully by then they get a price and see how much it is and see if I'm able to afford it. And then after that, I'll be talking about the real estate, maybe the market, maybe, but mostly the podcast. I'll try to get a guest. I am actually this close. I think today, after 5, I will be able to have a guest, very first guest. She is a small business owner. She does her own business that runs over in Colorado. I've known her since I've been young and been just seeing her growth. Super proud of her. I won't tell you her name because that will be happening when that podcast airs. Well, when we do the podcast tonight. And it will be my very first video podcast. I will be uploading it. I will have the video uploaded, but it'll be going through Spotify. I'm thinking in the future to also create a YouTube channel for people that aren't able to be here physically, like to my apartment to do the podcast, to do a video to do like the video version of the podcast and upload it to that YouTube, so then I can grow an audience there too. And yeah, I mean, super excited. And I'm hoping to get other guests just so you guys don't have to hear me talk. I'll just have other people talk and have some great conversations with them. And if you are ever a guest on the podcast, and if you do ask me for questions, so no, I'm not gonna send over questions. I want everything as raw as it can be, raw and unedited, because I want genuine reactions, like genuine responses. Because I don't want it to sound like it's staged. Of like they went over this. I want everything genuine, so then it sounds. I don't say it just sounds amateur, but at the same time it sounds good. It sounds like you're in the room with us and you're having them be shy because they don't know how to answer a question, or because they're first time answering a question. And so I'm ready for that. But on that, I don't have any other thing to say. Just wanted to kind of say something, to have an episode uploaded. Hers, even though we will be doing it tonight, her episode will probably be aired Monday morning. I would do it Sunday, but I'm thinking just pushing it to like Monday morning. But other than that, yeah. Hope you guys have a good day. And again, if you do listen, I will have a link to all my socials in the description. You can follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will be trying to posting content there. And with Anchor, they do offer donations. If you ever want to donate to the podcast, all proceedings will go to the podcast. Like most of the investments will go to the podcast to hopefully in the future be able to get better mics, better equipment, a camera to start recording everything. And other than that, yeah. Hope everyone has a good day. Stay safe, everyone.